1. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Gamers Lounge podcast. My name is John Meadows. With me as always, Eric, Nathaniel, and Robert. How's it going, guys?
It's going
quite well.
Good.
Pretty good. Can't complain.
Yeah. We can always complain a little bit. I know I can.
No.
Hey, we're on the internet, and if the internet's good at anything, it's complaining.
Oh my gosh, it hasn't not been a good complaining this weekend. Oh my. We don't talk politics, but holy fright.
No, let's talk Star Wars instead.
That came from out of nowhere this afternoon.
I've already seen many memes of fake Star Wars.
I don't know how I
titles.
feel about it.
Really?
I love it.
I think it's cool.
Yeah. One of my friends is
I don't like what it
suspecting
implies.
that it's going to be a sentence, or that it should be, because it's The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, something.
That could be.
Simple theory.
I saw the
Even if it's by accident.
Yeah, I saw the scroll that said Star Wars Episode 8, the Last Jedi. Luke Skywalker, please don't die. Luke Skywalker, please don't die.
Yeah.
Please don't die. It was all the scroll was. It's like, yeah, that's going to be the meme for the next year. So
I do like all the theories it's kicked off.
So memes are always fun.
They don't have Carrie anymore. He has to make it.
Yeah, well, they have her for this one because they did all the shooting, so at least she'll be in this one. It's the rest of them out that's going to be kind of interesting how they're going to handle that. And plus, I found out today that some Star Wars costume tour is coming to Cincinnati in May.
nice.
Yeah, I got to go see that. Apparently, it was in Seattle, and it's in Denver right now. We went to one in Columbus, Ohio. Golly, it's probably been 10 or 12 years ago, but it had all the movie props. It wasn't just costumes, but it had like the models they used for the movies and stuff, which is really cool.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was really awesome. So when Nikki saw it on Facebook, she's like, I guess we're going to have to go to that this summer. I'm like, yeah. I don't care if I am just looking at Stormtrooper outfits and Princess Leia gowns. I want to go see it. That's awesome. So, but yeah, there's been that. There's been all kinds of crazy memes this weekend, but, we won't talk about all of them. A lot of them are funny, but
This isn't the meme cast.
this isn't the meme cast. No, it isn't. It's a podcast about video games. So first, we want to welcome everybody that's in the chat room. We've started live streaming the recording of our podcast. If you don't know this, so if you're listening to the recording, hey, you can follow us on Twitch and you can actually watch it live and interact with us while we're recording, which is kind of cool. It's something new. We did it with the Switch podcast that we did last week or whenever it was, a week before last or whatever.
Yep, it was last week.
The one that I had to sleep through because it was late.
Yeah, we didn't start till like midnight, so it was pretty late, and nobody had to work but Nathaniel. Nathaniel was the only one that had a job that had to work. So. Yeah, I know.
And soon we'll have video. And by soon, I mean whenever we can afford it.
Yeah, soon. Whenever I can not have a dog have $500 or $600 worth of work done to him. So, or a truck breakdown, or a car breakdown, or
all those essential things in life that you need, right?
And adulting, awesome. I love being an adult. It's so great.
Yeah, me too.
Sometimes I feel like I'm the only one left that adults around here.
Yeah, I know. Oh, Spinner asks, which movie are you more excited for, Logan or Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Yeah,
probably Star Wars. Although I am interested in
Logan looks great, though.
See the way they take
it. Logan looks
cool.
Yeah,
Logan looks good.
Have you watched the new trailer?
If you're into superheroes, this year is a good year for superhero movies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably the only one excited for Power Rangers.
Yeah,
I was into Power Rangers, so the only reason I'd be interested in it is to watch the train wreck.
Yeah, the Power Rangers was kind of...
I mean, it looks just as goofy and hokey, just in a different way than the TV show did.
Yeah.
Goofy and hokey with a budget.
It's a bunch of weird things. But yeah, there's a new trailer out for Logan. I haven't watched it yet, but I hear Patrick Stewart says the F word in it or something.
Yeah, he does.
Yes.
I got a trailer.
Yeah.
Just put that on loop.
I'm so glad that they finally have decided to make rated R comic book movies. This is so good. Thank you, Deadpool. You're the best.
Yay!
All right, let's go ahead and get started talking about what we've been playing, what we've been doing gaming-wise. Everybody's been playing a lot. I haven't played very much at all, but I've been kind of busy.
With everybody.
Yeah, you've been playing like zero things, John. Come
Yeah,
on.
no, really, literally zero. I've been playing Yakuza 0, which I still need to get my review finished up, and I wanted to get it up today, but that didn't happen, so hopefully maybe tomorrow. Especially since it releases tomorrow, so...
Daniel's been busy playing the PS4, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Daniel, I'm glad to
Yeah, that
see
stupid flash sale made sure that I was on the PS4 a lot.
Yeah.
$5 games, man.
How
much was Syndicate?
I don't know. Was it $5? Was Syndicate $5?
No, that's what I've been playing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, was.
Because I talked about it a little bit last show too.
The order was cheap. That was like $5, right? Oh, that's
yeah, everything on this flash sale was $5 or less.
And Lords of the Fallen, that's a good game. If you like the Dark Souls stuff, you definitely like that.
Yeah.
So.
We'll get to it. That's the one I played the least of out of all the games I have listed. So.
Well,
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
So I've been playing a little bit of Tomb Raider for PS4.
Have you not finished that one yet?
No, I think I'm halfway through. I keep getting distracted by this other game called Dishonored 2. Oh my goodness.
It's a great game.
Yeah, I finally just finished the Clockwork Mansion, and I'm almost done with the next part. I love that level. I took my time, level. Just like, oh, it's so good. That's got to win an award for like design, just creativity.
The thing that I'll tell you about Clockwork is when I was playing the game, and in that one I was like, this is totally going to be my favorite level of the game, and it's not. There's one later that I like even better.
Yeah, and I was like, since I'm trying to play like stealthy as Emily and stuff, I had to like rethink the strategy I was going to use because I also have a save where I'm Corvo and I've just been running like causing as much chaos as possible, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta think about this differently this time. So it's been fun. It took me a while. I think it took me over an hour just to get through it.
Wow.
So I want to explore everything.
I mean, the good thing about that level is the robot things don't cause chaos. So.
Oh yeah, those are kind of annoying too. I had to figure out how to fight them too.
The stupid things that can see in front and behind, so it's a lot harder to sneak around.
But it's good. I've been playing a lot of that. I've been playing still lots of Battlefield 1. I'm just, I got lucky. There was a couple bad days of weather last week, so they canceled work, so I had lots of time in my hands. But I've also been playing The Flame and the Flood. I got a copy of that for review. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Almost done my review.
That.
It kind of reminds me of Don't Starve, minus the creepy monster things in the night. So.
Well, I remember it came out on PS4 or Xbox One first. I don't think we got a review code of that, or maybe we did. I don't remember. I can't remember now. But it looks like an interesting game, but I've never played it.
It's entertaining. It was on sale, on the flash sale too. Flame and the Flood, I think it was like $12 maybe. So, but I do recommend it. It was fun. It got really good reviews, and it's very, I would say, kind of a happy survival game. That's the way. The music's kind of catchy, and the animation, and you have a fun little dog with you that travels along. So
I mean, it's not a dreary and dark game where everything's depressing and raining and
and you get diseases right away.
Yeah.
No, it's light and happy. It's very interesting.
It sounds like it.
I was pleasantly surprised. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
That's what I've been up to.
Cool. The only thing I've been playing is Yakuza 0. Golly, it is so good. I wished it came out last year. If it came out last year, it would have been my game of the year. It's hard to say that. Well, technically, I guess it could be my game of the year so far, but we're only 23 days into the new year, so you can't officially call it a game of the year. But yet, anyway. But man, it is a blast. The story is so much more interesting and more fleshed out than any of the other Yakuza games. The battle system is much more fleshed out because you have two guys, so you have two different stories going on, and each fighter has their own fighting style. And instead of just having like one or two fighting styles, they have like 3 or 4 fighting styles, and you unlock as you go. And it used to be in the Yakuza games you acquired points leveling up and get points to unlock different moves. Well, now it's all money based, so when you fight these random battles while you're walking through town, you get so much money and you unlock moves from just buying the move set, which is to me it's a little easier, but there's so much more of it now. It's way bigger because you're getting millions of yen that you can spend pretty quick and easy. But I mean, there's all kinds of different moves. Like Goro has a breakdance fighting stance. You're fighting, and if you want to switch from like a more finesse fighting ways or traditionals, you can just hit on the directional pad, which either way you go, you can change to brawl or this 1980s breakdancer moves where you're doing like spins on the back of your neck and kicking people in the face, and
that sounds like the one I would want to use.
I heard really good things about it, and I heard it's a good place to start if you've never played any of the games.
It is.
It's a prequel, isn't it?
Yes, it's a prequel
so
to the first. So
how far before the first one is it?
It takes place in the 80s, right?
Yeah, well, the first two took place, or the first one took place in the late 80s, early 90s. I can't remember what year this one's supposed to take place. They said at the beginning, but yeah, it's like 86, 87, so it's probably 3 or 4 years before the first one. But yeah, I mean, it's awesome. I mean, it's just awesome. The graphics are fantastic. There are a lot of action. Now let me sit down and watch this big long story play out, and listen to them talk about this and that, and take this twist and take that turn. And but yeah, I mean, story-wise, this is the best storytelling I think that they have had in the series so far. But I haven't played 6 yet, of course, because it's not out here yet. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely worth a.
Is it just as deep and just as much to do as there are in the other ones?
More. It's more deep.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's more. Whatever you played in the original ones, this is like 10 times deeper. I would say most reviewers that I have read have played through the entire story in 25 hours, but they didn't do a lot of the side quests, and they didn't do a lot of the extra stuff. Some of the reviewers that I read who are more veterans of the series played 30 hours of it and didn't even get through a quarter of the first story because they were off doing this side quest and doing going to the batting cages and leveling up things there, and playing darts or going to the hostess club. I mean, there's everything in this game. If you want to go play darts, you can go play darts. If you want to go play baseball, you can go play baseball. If you want to go bowling, you can go bowling. You can play Space Harrier in the arcades. You can play Hang On or no.
Wasn't
Outrun.
that in Shenmue also?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's just like that. You have the arcades where you can sit down in the machine, put your money in, play. I mean, like one night I was just playing the game and there was a gap in there, and I was like, "Oh, I'm just going to go play darts," and ended up playing darts for like an hour and a half, just playing darts in the game. Or you can go to the dance club, and then all of a sudden it turns into like a Dance Dance Revolution game where you have to hit the timing with the buttons and stuff like that. Or you can go to the karaoke bar and it turns into a singing game where you have to time the singing buttons and get judged on your. I mean, there's just so much to do in it. It's just crazy. But I love it. I mean, it takes place in like 2 or 3 different cities, and it's huge and it's busy, and it's really good. It's really good, and I hope people will actually buy it and play it because it's really good. I'm afraid because it's this niche Japanese game that doesn't come out very often and over in America, that
people are going to pass.
People are going to pass over it, but don't pass over it.
Well, I mean, Time of Year is definitely benefiting it in that it's about the time where people are wanting to play something, but there's not tons and tons of stuff out like the fall. So
yeah. I mean, it's a perfect winter game, and you can play it as quickly or you can take as much time in it as you want. That's the nice thing. You can if you fly through it, great, but if you do fly through it, you're missing so much.
Sounds like a lot of game.
It is. There's a lot of game. I think. I haven't looked at it in a while, but when I was 10 hours into the game, 10 or 12 hours into the game, I was only like 2% done with everything.
There's more I want to play this coming spring than I did over the fall.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. That's all I've been playing. I'll have my review up hopefully tomorrow. So, if not, it'll be Wednesday. It depends on how things go. It's going to be kind of crazy around here this week, but for other reasons that nobody wants to hear about on a podcast. This is terrible things. But Robert, what have you been playing? We'll let Nathaniel go last.
I'm still chipping away at Final Fantasy 15 slowly. I think I'm finally nearing the end of the side quests that are available to me in Chapter 3.
Mhm.
So now that I'm almost 50 hours in and have done absolutely nothing story-wise, I might be able to catch up a little bit. Um, haven't only really played it for about an hour this week, so I don't really have too much to update you guys with.
Yeah.
I think I'm just kind of working on my upgrading like my main weapons now and catching this fish that I have to fish for at dawn or dusk, which is obnoxious because it doesn't always appear. So I have to keep waiting and waiting and waiting, and I refuse to sleep because I'm trying to stack all my experience until I have enough money to spend at the ×2 multiplier in so that I get more experience. But yeah, there's that, and the Neo Last Chance demo came out this weekend.
Yeah, I meant to
Yeah.
download that.
I was a huge fan. I don't know if you guys remember when the first demo came out. I played the crap out of that. And,
Yeah.
unlocked one of the things that you get in the full game, and I was not able to play the second demo, so I was really excited to hop into this one and see some of the changes.
It's a big demo.
Yeah, again, I only got to play it for about an hour and a half. I think it was last night, but I was really happy to see they gave us a new level to mess with. I don't know if it was the same level from the second demo or not, but the game is much more polished than it was in the first demo. I had no slowdown, and I was playing on, I think they call it theater mode. There's action mode and theater mode. One action mode gives you higher frame rates, and then theater mode, I think, is supposed to lock it at 30 frames with better.
Yeah, there was
texture.
3. They had that one where it would lock it at 30, but then they also had it where it would just do whatever. But it was the better textures, so those are the 3 options I remember.
I had no issues with any frame rate or slowdown. It looks great. It's the thing I noticed the most that they changed was there is no more weapon durability, which, oh my god, that's the biggest blessing they could have given us. Because this game is hard, and you really have to manage your stamina. I think more so than in any of like the Souls games or Bloodborne, anything like that. And just that combined with how much health the enemies take out from you, how precise you have to be, just managing your equipment like that was ridiculous. And they just didn't give you enough consumables to continue fixing your weapons.
I don't have anything to compare it to because I've only just played this one, but it seems like they started with Dark Souls style combat as a base and then added on top of it. And so it's just more complicated because you have your different stances, you have your little kind of active reload type thing to get stamina back, and all sorts of different familiarity with weapons.
So many things.
Yeah, you've got crazy upgrade trees everywhere. It's
did any of you guys play Devil May Cry 4?
Yes, I did.
No,
so
I did not.
It has a mechanic in there, like Nathaniel was saying, like an active reload, similar to in Devil May Cry 4. You could you'd press one of the triggers at a certain moment when you're attacking, and it would rev your blade up. So in this one, after you slash, there are some like blue particle effects that kind of swarm around your body, and as they get closer to you, if you time pressing, I think it's L1 correctly, it will refill a lot more of your stamina than a lot more quickly than if you just backed off and kind of waited for it to refill. So they give you that to kind of manage that a little bit.
It's very much like active reload in Gears of War, where if you get it just on the sweet spot is what you're aiming for, but with this one, you can do it anywhere in there. If you do it too early, you just get a little bit of your stamina back. If you do it perfect, you get almost all of it back from the moves you used. I think it's either just like one sword slash attack or a specific combo, but if you're just like hammering the button, it'll reset and you'll only get like the last slash of it. But yeah, I was playing it too, but I didn't play I didn't get to play through all of it. I didn't even get to any of the bosses. I kept falling and dying in water.
Yeah, that was really there was this one part.
It looks like you should be able to walk there, but there's this one little pool right by the edge of the shore that's just deep enough to kill you.
One of the yokai monsters is in like this cave right by this pool of water, and the first time I faced him, I backed up really quickly to get out of the way of his big axe and just fell right in the water. And oh man, I was screaming.
Well, the infuriating thing is that pool of water has in the middle of it like a little body with loot on it, so you can walk out in there. And there's like I'm sure it's a waterfall or whatever on the far end, but right close to the shore, there's this one spot where it just goes a little bit deeper. And samurai are allergic to water apparently, and it's just like instant boom, you're dead. I'm like, what happened?
So obnoxious.
It got me 3 times. It got me 3 different times. Even when I was specifically looking for it, because I died there, I went back to pick up my, well, they're not souls, but your souls, basically.
Yeah.
And then I stepped right back into the same hole again. I was like, come on.
It's fun, though. I think it's just like Dark Souls in that if you mess up, it's your fault. There's no cheap deaths here once you learn the mechanics. It's faster than most of the Soul games. Again, I guess it depends on the weapon you're using and which stance you want, because I got the high, the medium, and the low stances, each with their own benefits.
Which weapons did you like the best?
I'm a sword and axe guy.
I like doing occasionally the dual swords.
Yeah, I had just started messing with the dual swords, and I'm really starting to like those. I do like the spear occasionally, but more often than not, I find that when I use the spear, it starts hitting the walls and I can't do anything. But then the enemies can just kind of go through the walls, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cheap. But I think the archery in it is way underappreciated from what I see. I'm sniping people's heads and just knocking their heads off with just the basic bow and arrow. It's awesome.
Well, yeah, it definitely has a very much more damage if you hit them in their weak spot, aka the head for most enemies, because you get the dot changes for if you're aiming there versus everywhere else. It's just the ring because there's like a dot in the middle of the ring. So yeah, if you get that headshot, it definitely causes a lot of damage.
Yeah,
you just need to make sure you have plenty of arrows because I kept running out.
Oh really?
Yeah, because I was shooting too much. I was like, oh fine, I'll go use the sword.
I need to download that. I don't know how much
space I think
it's can't play it anymore.
Oh, you can't play it anymore? See?
Mine is still suspended, so I'm wondering what's going to happen when I try and play it.
Oh, that's right, because it was just the server.
Just the weekend, yeah.
Yeah, it was just the server weekend. That's right.
I'm really curious to see how the story is in it and kind of the flow of the level to level mechanic, I guess, because this isn't one big open world like the other games.
Yeah, you have like a map.
It's very much so mission based, but each of those missions are there's winding paths and they are intricate. They feel like you're going to be in them for a while, especially like the boss levels. My friend in Ohio, he was telling me that it took him hours to beat the second level in the demo, which was just a boss fight. And I'm just like, man.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw some footage of that boss fight, and it's like a one-on-one duel, and the person you're fighting is about the same size as you, so it's not like you're fighting a giant monster, but they're very, very fast. So I could see how it would be quite hard. And the video I was watching, the guy got him all the way down to about a thumbnail of health, screwed up and got killed and died. It's like, yep, that definitely looks like a Souls type game where you can get almost there and then just screw it up at the end.
Yeah. As frustrating as it was, and as much as I was screaming and getting mad, I mean, the game was still great. I was just trying to rush through it because I knew I didn't have the time to play that I wanted.
When does that game come out?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay, I knew it was soon, but I couldn't remember exactly when.
It's like the first Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever.
It does have a season
February.
pass as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with I think 3 expansions in it.
You can see how they could add expansions in, since it's not like one huge world like Dark Souls. It would be, I mean, they still manage to do expansions there too, but you could just be like, here's this new thing on a map, and here's the new couple of levels you get. It should be something that you could probably add in pretty easily, anything you wanted. But yeah, I played it just enough to know that I really want to play that game.
Yeah, I'm in. I don't know if I'll get it right away. I do have it pre-ordered, but I just don't have time for any of these new upcoming games. I'm still trying to play Final Fantasy 15.
It's super deep in the menus in there, though, too, because you have not only like Dark Souls, you have all your different attributes you can upgrade. But you
so
also
much.
have a
Oh
skill
my gosh.
tree, so you earn skill points, and like every time you level up, and I think every time you go up a familiarity level with a weapon and things like that, you get skill points to spend too. And those are all on each weapon type. You can unlock new moves and all sorts of stuff in this huge menu.
I don't know how prevalent that's going to be because just with my hour of playing, it said that I'd already reached max familiarity with, I think, the bow.
Well, yeah, but that's just the familiarity. So what that does is it also makes it worth more when you sell it. But also, it's kind of trying to encourage you to use other weapons so that you can get more skill points, basically, if you want to get them faster. That is a way to do it. So you could like get a weapon and use it for a bit just to get a couple skill points and then sell it. And it's not like you have to spend them in specific areas either. I think whatever you can earn a skill point with a sword, but you could spend it on axes or whatever. As far
I
as
wonder
I
if it's going to have
understand.
New Game Plus.
I could see them doing
I
that.
was going to say it wouldn't surprise me. I would see that.
Seems like
Probably
the
be
type
some
of game
update
it
or
would be good for.
Yeah, well, I could see them making an update, maybe in the season pass, offering a Game Plus or something like that. I mean, it'd kind of be cheap, but I mean, some
If it
games
isn't
have
in there
done that.
already.
Yeah, if it isn't in there already.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. Anything else? That it? That's all you played? Well,
That's
it.
it.
You played more than me. That's not right.
It's the first time ever.
Yeah, no, really. Yeah, I've had a lot going on. Plus, that stupid $5 sale came up, and I bought Dark Cloud, Rogue Galaxy, and Lego Batman 3, and
I
I'm
meant
like,
to check it out.
it's like, when am I ever going to play those? I have
Never.
Rogue Galaxy on the PS2 anyway, but it's like
Dark Cloud was. I really liked Dark Cloud back in the day.
I haven't
Apparently,
played
I
it in
already
100
had
years.
Lego Batman 3, which is interesting. I'm like, I don't remember buying this.
Well, it was on
I'm so mad at Lego
sale.
Batman 3 right now.
Really? Why?
Oh, I don't. I started playing it probably about a year and a half ago now, and I got to a point, but I was a little intoxicated when I was playing it, and I probably waited about 6 months before I played it again, and I could not, for the life of me, remember where I was or what I was doing.
Oh, God.
So I spent like the next 3 hours trying to figure out what I was doing, and then I got so mad that this kids game was giving me so much trouble, I just deleted it and I haven't gone back.
It's like I bought Dragon Quest VII while I was out working. I was like, I'll play this on the 3DS, and I played it. And then the holidays came. I came home and the holidays came. And I forgot about it. And the other day I was like, oh man, I need to pick that up and play it because was it 8 just came out or whichever one just came out. And I was like, all right, let me pick it up. Where did I leave off? What's going on? What am I supposed to do? I'm like, shite. I'm going to have to start all over again because I can't remember. And I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, I got the game plus season pass for like $20 total, so I'm not too upset about it.
No, I haven't bought
Yeah.
the season pass yet. But
I think I ran into that with Deus Ex Mankind Divided, where I was almost to the end of the game and I got distracted by a couple other games. I was like, oh man, I got like 10 hours left. I'm not gonna be able to, I've got to sit down. I fired it up one night on a Saturday. I was like, that's all I had left. Man, I could have finished this weeks ago.
10 minutes, come on.
Yeah.
I know. I was like, oh, that was it.
I have done that before. Only
To
played
be
a half
fair,
hour.
that game seems like it's going to go longer than it does. It just sort of stops.
I did
Mankind Divided.
in that game pretty much from one playthrough almost.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jeez. All right, Nathaniel, what have you been playing?
All right,
let's hear
get
this
to my
PlayStation
giant
4 list.
Thank you, $5 game sale. So I already talked about, Neo demo. I was playing that. And then I got a whole bunch of different things. I'd finished up Assassin's Creed Syndicate, so I've completed that game pretty much.
Yeah.
I freed every area on the map. I did all the missions. I got all of the reasonable collectibles. Screw the shards in the chests. There's way too many of those.
Reasonable. Anything that makes me dig and have to consult a guide is not reasonable.
Like, oh, look, this district has 3 of these things. I can do that. This district has, 50 shards? No, thanks.
Yeah, really.
Especially, if it doesn't have any real reason for it other than just to collect it. Usually it's kind of like, well, whatever. I'll get them if I see them.
Yeah.
That game is a lot of fun. it gets a lot better as it goes too, because like the early bit of it was like kind of like, oh, it's all right, but as it went, I was having a lot more fun. I was having fun driving the carriages around and destroying everything on the way, rather than just trying to drive nicely down the street. It's like, oh, sidewalk where there's lamps and things that I can bust down. Go. And it makes it even more fun too, because there's lots of just different lines of dialogues that people will shout at you. So like the cops will yell "slow down" and stuff like that, or people that are just like normal random people on the side of the street will yell something, about how crazy you are. It's pretty fun.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't think I'll go back and try and get any more of the stuff in there. I've pretty much finished up with that game, especially since I have tons more that I can play now.
Yeah.
I also finished up Telltale Batman. I played the other 4 episodes or something.
That's a good one.
Played since last time. It's good. I really wish Telltale could make stable games, because episode 2 was a nightmare. That thing crashed on me like 6 times.
Every single one crashed on me.
Lucky for me, the last 2 did not crash on me, so I was able to just go straight through them. The story in that is really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's really
I like
good.
it a lot.
I like how it lets you play kind of the Batman you want to play as, so you can be all gruff and angry, or you can play it more like I did, where I'm trying to be kind of like the animated series style of Batman, where he's a little bit nicer and he's more of the heroic type. He's not trying to just do it at all costs or whatever.
Yeah, mine was too.
And he's sort of in the middle, because you could go completely goody two-shoes Batman if you wanted, but I was like, okay, well, I could do this to get some results, but it's not quite as in your face as this other option over here. So it was a really cool story. I like how it has a lot to do with just sort of the Wayne, who Bruce Wayne is, as well as Batman, kind of playing with both of that together, and kind of what the Wayne family is. And it's a nice different way, or a different take of story on it than other Batman stories, movies, cartoons, whatever. It's kind of, or the Arkham games. It's different than any of those, the story they're telling. So it's a lot of fun.
So then I haven't played it.
I recommend it, as long as you are going in knowing that it will probably crash on you.
See, now on the Xbox, I had no problems with that whatsoever.
Yeah,
it never crashed on me once. It's so weird.
So
I played it on both of them and it crashed.
See, that's wild. Yeah. And I never had an issue with it at all. I mean,
I didn't have any crashes in the last 2 episodes, but I did have this weird bug that took me a while to catch on that it was a bug where TV screens did not have textures on it. So they were either blank or had like a still on it when it was obviously supposed to be video from the way things were going. So I could hear it, but it didn't have anything moving on the screen. It's just like you're zooming in on a blank TV. You're like, okay.
Weird.
I'll just fill in with my imagination here what's going on. But it didn't really get into the way of the story. It was still fun.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you're like, I just wish they could make it a little more polished, but oh well, it is what it is.
I think it's just the engine. I just think it's just the engine they use.
Even this one's supposed to be, quote, new.
Yeah, it was supposed to be.
But it's just as unstable as the other ones, and it looks the same. It doesn't really look any better than any of their other ones either, so...
Right.
I don't know if it just makes it easier for them to just pump out all the different ports to every platform or what it is, but it just seemed like all the old Telltale games to me that I've played.
Yeah, weird. It didn't seem any different to me than the engine-wise. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you don't know that unless you're working with it under the hood. Yeah. As far as what the gamers play, it looks like a game. One last thing also on PC was I played some more Hive Jump because it went to full release this week.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
So it's out of early access. I've retweeted them a few times, but their main account that I follow on Twitter has just been super busy this week, trying to say stuff, trying to get the name out there.
Yeah.
Co-op action.
Yeah, I've got it on Steam too. I haven't even. Well, I don't really have Steam installed. So
yeah, the difference is they've added sort of like a campaign mode into the game, and before it just had like arcade where you just go and jump in some random hive and try and do it, and if you do it, yay! If you fail, it's just sort of window dressing to that. So you get kind of a map that's kind of like very simplified Risk, where there's not that many, but there's little icons on the map. and you have a base here, and you want to add some more soldiers to it, you can use some of your goo currency to add some soldiers and a couple other things that you can do to kind of fortify this position. And then there's hives that show up, and you can nuke them to weaken them before you jump in and that kind of stuff. So you get like...
Co-op?
I don't know. I don't know if you can play co-op or not. I didn't pay attention to the menu options there. But you have on the map, so like a little icon for a hive, and you can jump into it, and whether you win or lose, if you win, you clear it out, and then you can build a base there. If you lose, then you pop back out to the map, and you have to end your turn, and then the hive gets to go, and then they can do this little thing where they attack your stuff. And you have lanes that they go, so each little dot on the map is connected to one or two others. And so there's this little kind of cutscene little thing that looks like it's driven by random numbers, where it's just like, okay, do some of your soldiers die or not? And a couple of waves of bugs come, and you either defeat them or you don't. And so your base stands or fails. So you're trying to take control of the map, basically. I still haven't finished it because playing by yourself is slow.
Yeah, I bet.
Because I can't. Because if it's more than a few floors, it's so hard solo to beat any of the levels by yourself. Even on easy, I'm playing the easy campaign, and it's still pretty hard because there's just so many. And I've got upgraded stuff too, so I can stay alive pretty well. It's just that you get so far in, and it's just finally wearing you down where your backpack, if it gets knocked off, it's just immediately going to get blown up because it's taking little hits here and there over the time because you don't have anyone else to protect it when you die, so it just sits there and they get free shots at it.
All right.
All the little alien bug things, but man, they did a good job with that game. It's simple. It doesn't have, tons and tons of different things in there, but what it does well. You have a bunch, maybe a dozen different weapons or so that you can unlock. I haven't got them all, but the ones I have are a lot of fun. They play differently, but they're all really cool.
Yeah.
There's a couple that I haven't even bothered because it looks like it's more co-op only gun, because if you're trying to do it by yourself, you just get overrun because it's not fast firing enough. But even the main kind of little blaster gun is really good, especially once you upgrade it, because each gun has, I think, 3 upgrade levels that you can buy for it. And then you also have these chest rooms that you can find throughout the levels where you will pick up things like faster movement speed or, shorter cooldown or heat up or whatever, so that you can fire your gun longer before it overheats, that kind of stuff. Yeah. That you'll pick up through little upgrades like that make your survivability easier. But yeah.
Yeah,
it's a cool little game.
I've been tweaking them. I was wondering if it was still going to come out on the Wii U or if they were going to move it to the Switch, but never
I forgot about that.
It's supposed to come out on the Wii U.
I might be on the back burner maybe for that.
Yeah, I mean they were always pushing to kind of get this release out first, right? Because they're a tiny studio. There's you can only do so much at a time. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Something about the guns. I don't know. I lost my train of thought. But anyway.
Sorry, my bad.
That's all right. It's all right. But yeah, Hive Jump is a lot of fun. It does, what it does really well.
We need to have those guys really back on the show.
Actually, I remember what it was. They have some where there's a modifier that makes it a dark level. So instead of being able to see everything on screen, it's very, very dim, and you just have a little bit of a glow around you, and then some of the little pieces in the environment also have a little bit of light, but every time you fire your gun, it lights up the environment, and it looks really, really cool.
Yeah. I just download my Steam and play it.
It's enough to pick up. You play it for an hour or two or something, then put it down. And you're like, all right, I blasted some bugs. That was fun.
Yeah.
I haven't played it in co-op yet, but I can see that it would be a lot of fun. And you can play it local, or you can play it online. I don't know. You might even be able to play it over LAN. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I know it's online or split screen on the computer. So.
Yeah. Cool little game. I found that it's easier with mouse and keyboard for me because you can aim more quickly and easier than you can with the stick.
Yeah,
although it's still fun on controller too. It's just when you're by yourself, you want to get as much of a little edge as you can. Don't stay on the ground. That's my tip. Don't stay on the ground. Use your jetpack. It's there for a reason. because you can float around. You don't have infinite fuel, but if you manage it, you can stay in the air pretty well. So all the ground-based enemies can't get you as easily, and you just have to worry about some of the flying ones shooting projectiles. And you can aim down at the ground and just try and spit out as many bullets as quickly as you can.
Yeah. Cool. And it's $15 on Steam right now. It's 25% off.
Yes, normally 20. So
Good.
I don't know how long that's going to last. It's like a launch thing, so I'm sure if it said how much longer that's going to last. I wouldn't say it would probably not be too long.
I wouldn't think so. Maybe the week or something.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the trailer and say, hey, that looks like fun, I want to play that or play that with my friends, then I would say it's probably worth the $15-20 for you.
Yeah. Cool.
So, other than that, yeah, like we're saying earlier, I got a bunch of different things for $5 on PSN. And I bought a couple of things, and then I guess maybe since I'm new to PS4 for whatever reason, I got a $10 code. I got a notification on there. It was like, here, have $10 to spend in the store.
It came with the
sure.
It came with the PS4. I meant to tell you that. Yeah, everybody that bought a PS4 got one, which is cool. But
it doesn't give it to you till you've gone and spent in the store, I guess, because it didn't pop up till then, and I've been playing on there for a while. I've even downloaded demos, so it must be triggered when you spend in the store.
Yeah.
But I got Journey, I got Hitman Go, I got The Order 1886, I got Lords of the Fallen.
Lords of the Fallen's cool.
I also got Strider, but I haven't played that one yet.
Oh, Strider's awesome.
Strider's good. Play.
So I have beaten Journey because it's really short. I beat The Order. I am really probably halfway through Hitman Go because it ramps up the difficulty of the puzzles as you get more into it. And I'm doing the ones where I have to do all the objectives on one before I move on if I can do it.
Yeah.
I've been able to do for the most part, but
I didn't buy Hitman Go because I actually have it on my iPhone. So I thought.
I mean, wherever you play it, Hitman Go is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. It's really fun.
Formula down really cool, like to its bare bone essentials, but you're just moving around like, whoop, I hit a guard. And they do a fun, nice progression with it as far as here's a normal guard who just stands still. Here's ones who patrol. Here's a different type of guard. And each kind of big board game, basically, level that you have will add 2 or 3 different mechanics to it so far. So very cool. And then you have your optional objectives of do this without killing anyone or do it in 20 moves or less, those kinds of things. So it's fun trying to figure out, oh man, I did that in 25 moves, but you could do it in like 18. How do you do that? And go back in and try and optimize your path and stuff. So I did that a couple of times when I was just needing a half an hour to play something. I was like, oh, I'll throw on Hitman Go.
What did you think of The Order?
The Order is a game that had so many chances to be really, really good, but it gets in its own way.
I know.
I like The Order. I like it a lot.
It's good. I enjoyed it.
It's short.
Overall,
it is
short. It's short, but I think for the story they were telling, it was about the right length, I guess, even though you still, at the end, you're like, but I want to play more, I guess.
Yeah. That's the thing. I really do want to play more, so everyone needs to buy this game right now.
The Order has an amazing world building that they did for that. The setting and the ideas of like what this world that you're playing in is really cool. Just where you're all these descendants of Knights of the Round Table, and you've lived for centuries because you have some, the Grail. What do they call it? The Blackwater. That's what they call it, the Blackwater.
Yeah, the Blackwater.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's been so long I can't remember.
Stay alive, and so you're alive for centuries. All of the characters that you're seeing and interacting with that are part of the Order have been around for a long, long time, and know each other very well, which is really cool as a setup. Really, really, really bad way they wrote that game because characters do stuff they shouldn't be doing in that game. So the first half of the game, the character that you play as is set up as your team, and from dialogue and banter in between them, just plot points. You really trust these people. These are the people you trust. This guy over here you don't trust. You think he's an idiot. He is obviously something's not right with him. You have arguments with this guy. Then in the middle of the game, something happens. You are shown that the world is not exactly as you thought it was, and maybe something bad is going on. So do you go to the people that you trust? No, you go to the 2 people who are obviously the ones that you shouldn't trust, the ones that you've interacted the least with, the ones that you have argued with, the ones that you're like, no, I don't want to be with my team that I've been with this whole first part of the game that I totally should trust and tell everything to. Nope, I'm not going to go there. So they tried to shoehorn the plot in a certain direction, and to do so, they kind of had to do characters that acted against what they'd sort of established them as. Mm-hmm. At least in my interpretation of when I was playing through it, I was like, oh, come on. Yeah. Another thing that bugged me is the game. The shooting is okay, but the two things that were really fun to play with the shooting, they don't let you play with them very long. So you get the electric, whatever they call it, gun, where you shoot lightning bolts.
Yeah.
And you get another gun where you shoot kind of a little thermite powder, and then you shoot a flare into that to set it on fire. Those were cool and fun.
Yeah, that was really cool.
They give them to you, and then 5 minutes later, they just rip it away from you. You can't take it with you anymore. You're like, oh, but let's just getting used to it. It was fun. Come on. I want to use these fancy guns. I mean, you have Tesla as your Q, basically, in the order. He's kind of like, if it was James Bond, he'd be Q. He's like, here's these cool weapons. If you're going to have Tesla be there, you got to let us use the goofy, crazy steampunk weapons. I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to use just a normal pistol. That's boring.
But for $5, I mean.
Yeah, for $5, it was fine. Like, it's a very, I'd say, a mixed game that I was more positive on overall, even though there were some parts in there that were really frustrating. Like one of the stealth sections bugged the crap out of me.
I know what one you're talking about because it did me too.
I normally love stealth stuff, but when it's done poorly, it's just no.
Yep, that was I know exactly what part you're talking about, and I felt the exact same way about it. You're absolutely right there.
So yeah, like I had a whole bunch of time over the weekend, so I was able to just power through it in like 2 play sessions to get through the order, and it's enough to like keep me playing. But it's just one of those things where I'm like, oh, come on. Yeah. I really would like to see a sequel to it, but I doubt we'll ever get one.
I don't know. I think we might.
I don't know. I don't know if we've seen. Do we know what Ready at Dawn is doing?
They're doing one small title, Deformers, which is a Game Trust, the GameStop published game. But besides that, that's just their small team. So I'm
maybe
sure
their big team is working on one of this. Because it's one of those where you could go, I could see it going, say, Assassin's Creed to Assassin's Creed 2, where the sequel takes the promise of the first game and just like executes it perfectly. Yeah. Because there's so much good there, even though it annoyed me that it's letterboxed the whole time, and that gets confusing. Because there's not an indicator to tell you when exactly you're playing. And you can't even trust that if it's in sort of like the camera position where it should be kind of behind you where you're playing. Sometimes they just do that in the cinematics too.
Yeah.
And so I was confused a few times. I'm like, oh, I'm playing now.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have that indication, which most games do, where the letterbox goes away. You know why they did it that way? Because that way they can pump a little bit more into the graphics, and it does look really good, especially when it came out. It still looks really good. Mm-hmm. But you look at, say, Uncharted 4, and you're like, okay, well, now they figured out a way to do it without having to letterbox it, and it looks just as nice and detailed. So if they ever did get to do
it also came out a year later.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like if they ever do get to do another order, I'm sure they'll be able to fill the whole screen. Because it felt a little claustrophobic to me sometimes, just the way that it was, because you're really close to the character. Mm-hmm. And with the letterbox and that together made it feel kind of like I can't see as well as I would want to see. In the way that some of the the arenas are set up.
All the detail on my guy's back.
Yeah, you really want to see that steampunk radio on my shoulder, man.
Yeah, all the time.
And I was a little disappointed that there wasn't more of the supernatural in there, because they have just enough to, you're like, ooh, this is cool. There's werewolves and stuff in this world. I like that idea, but they don't come in a lot, and so it's mostly just normal random rebels or guards or whoever you're fighting. So it's like there's so much there, so much potential there, that they just didn't quite make it all the way to, yes, this is a great game. It's a really good game with some flaws in it that really frustrate you more because it has so much potential there, I think, than if it was just a blah game.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you were so close. Yeah. But it's definitely one, if they did a sequel to it, I'd be all over it, because that world is really cool.
Yeah, it is. It is really cool. And that's why when I saw it was on sale, I was like, me and Eric were both like, Nathaniel, you got to buy it, $5. Just buy it.
Yeah, it might have been I've been thinking about like, yeah, I should probably play that game.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
totally.
you might not go back
wasn't
and play it
too much of a
again,
push.
but it's cool. At least one playthrough.
Yeah, it's a
It was
Redbox
good.
rental price. I mean, you paid what you'd pay for it at Redbox. So
Yeah, it was like $5. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
I mean, you loaned it to me, I think, John, when you first had it.
yeah, I beat it in like 2 days, and then I mailed it to you, and you beat it, and then mailed it back.
I was like, oh, that was, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So, hey, looks like we got a question from the Twitch people. So they want to know what our favorite open world game is, and this covers, action, RPGs, pretty much everything. All right, you guys, what are you guys thinking?
Favorite
Skyrim?
open world, it would probably be Witcher 3 because it's just insanely big and packed with stuff. But a typical just open world game would probably be Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Mine was Red Dead. I really like Red Dead. I like that setting. I like that feel. I like that, that time period. I love that.
I would say for me, I don't know, Witcher 3 is up there, but I also like Sleeping Dogs.
Yeah,
And I'll have to put Fallout 4 up on there too. I'm sure once I finish or once I play Skyrim, I'm sure that'll go up there too.
Have you not
They
played
did
that
ask
yet?
what our favorite was,
never
and not
played
what I thought was the best. So I'm going to go with Infamous Second Son or Jack 2.
Infamous
Okay.
was pretty good.
This is good. Any of those games in this series.
I don't remember Jack 2. It's been too long since I played it.
I would probably also throw in Arkham City just because it's so much fun to move around that map as Batman.
Yeah. I bought those.
Batmobile.
Nah, screw the Batmobile. I want to fly.
I bought those remastered ones when they were on sale a couple of weeks ago. I actually fired Arkham Asylum up just to play it, just to see the graphic difference. Holy fright. That game still looks good and holds up. I had to stop myself because I was like, nope, I'm going to stay up till 5 o'clock in the morning playing it. Here I go. I got other
Asylum
things
is
to
so
play.
good.
I know.
Asylum is probably the one graphically has the most room to improve too, because it's the oldest, and you can definitely tell between it and then the jump to City, they did a whole lot more graphically.
Yeah. I didn't even boot up City yet. I just booted up Arkham, and when you could, when you had the option to zoom in, and you could like the part where you're walking in the beginning with the Joker tied up, and you could like zoom in on him. Oh my gosh! When you're in that elevator, I could zoom in so far and see little cracks in his face, and
Nice.
it's like they really upped the graphics on that. So glad I bought it. For I think it was, I don't remember how much it was, $10 or $15. It wasn't very much. It was enough that I was like, okay, I'll buy it for a fifth time. I think I own it on every single system.
I've beaten that game on 360 and PC twice even. I think that's my favorite one. It's just so much fun to run through.
I think I've beat it on all three. I think I beat it on PlayStation 3, 360, and PC. I think I beat it on.
I got so close to platinuming that one on the PS3. I think I only had like one of the challenge rooms left.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
That is good. That is real good. But anything else, Nathaniel, that you played? Did you go over?
Oh yeah, I played through Journey.
Oh, that's right. And that's
I've
a
never
good game.
Played that before.
That's an awesome game.
Yeah, it's a short little game, but it's got really cool music in it. I loved the music and the way that it sort of dictated the tone of kind of whatever area you're in. So it's a lot more kind of whimsical and fun, and then it gets a lot darker and stuff as you go. And
I'm definitely in the minority about that one. I thought it was fine, but I didn't think it was all that great. I don't think it deserves Game of the Year. I mean, it's a cool little indie game.
Game
but
of the Year.
No, I don't think it deserved a Game of the Year either.
A good game.
It's a good game. It's just not what everyone
really
says
cool
it is.
In that it's got this nice aesthetic to it that's different than other things. It's got some interesting ideas on just how to do storytelling without actually saying any words. And it's definitely, the same type of game that studio has done with like Flower and other stuff.
Yeah,
before.
Flow. Isn't Flow?
Flow.
Yeah, Flow was one too.
I like Flower. Flower was
good.
Yeah.
So they like taking a little idea and doing their own style of, a game and trying to execute on it, but not doing something that's in, a sane number of hours. It's just, it's this cool little experience. It's fun to play. So I was glad that I finally got to play that one. I never did it on PS3. Yeah. And Lords of the Fallen, I've played a couple hours at the beginning of that. I've gone 2 bosses in, so sort of the kind of introduction has a boss at the end of it, and then as you progress through the map, I've played the second one. and it is totally low rent Dark Souls.
Yep.
And it's totally not as good as Dark Souls
Yep.
because it's not as tight. It feels clunky to me because
It felt
Dark
really weird to
Souls-
me when I played it.
the difference is like in Dark Souls, you have a lot of moves and things that are slower, perhaps, but you know that you've initiated it. It's still responsive, even if some of the actions take a while to complete. But the animation starts as soon as you hit the button. Whereas in this, I was feeling like it took a little bit to actually execute the start of it. So you hit a button and it would take like just a few frames before it would actually start to do something. So I always felt like I was just a little bit behind, a little sluggish in kind of what I was doing. And it doesn't help that they start you in the game, at least with the classes and setup that I chose without really any research. I was like, oh, that looks cool. I'm in all heavy armor. So you have the slow animations on top of that, and you're just like, oh, come on. But once I dove into it a little bit more, I'm getting the hang of it. Got the hang of it a little bit better.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's all right. I don't know how much more I'm going to play of it, especially since I have Bloodborne over here. I have Dark Souls 3 that I want to finish at some point. Why play the low-rent version when you have better games of that type? Neo is coming out in a couple of weeks. I have other options. So.
Yeah, I played it on... It was free for PlayStation Plus a couple months ago, and then it was free on Games with Gold. So I had it on both, and I played it one time and went, yeah, I could just play Dark Souls if I want to play.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to give it its fair, chance because sometimes it's like, all right, it might not be as good as that, but it, still has some fun stuff. The thing that draws me back on it is Dark Souls. The bosses are interesting and have, cool things about them, and they feel fun to fight. This one, it feels like, at least the two that I fought, it just feels like a giant enemy with a big health bar that takes forever to knock down, and it doesn't really do anything super interesting. It's just like, all right, I'm still hitting you. Okay, I'm waiting for you to do this thing so I can hit you again. All right, okay. All right, look at my watch.
Yeah.
What's going on? Oh, okay, I can hit you again. Oh, this is taking forever. That's kind of how I felt with the two boss battles, at least that I started. It wasn't like they had interesting move sets or had some interesting environment you're fighting with them. It's just this big round arena. I'm like, all right, try not to die. Okay.
Exactly. But cool. All right. Well,
so yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Yeah, cool. Well, it's
just a few.
Well, you got to break in that PlayStation 4. You've got to break in the PlayStation 4.
Oh,
well, hey, that sale certainly helped with that, didn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I still don't have Plus because for me, so far, it's not really something that I need to spend money on, especially when I'd spent all the money on getting the system in the first place. So
I'm stocked up on like 3 years, so it's like, I don't know. I'll have to check when mine expires.
At this point, unless I want to play multiplayer, I probably won't get PS Plus because I already have from Steam and other things so many games that I can play that I don't need any more free games. So it's like, all right. Probably not worth it for me necessarily, or at least to rush out and get it. So I'm sure probably at some point I'll be like, all right, I need Plus now, but not yet.
Yeah. Well, if you want to hop in and play Destiny or something. See, now you can play Destiny. Oh, I can get Nathaniel hooked on Destiny.
Hey, I could ignore Destiny because whatever. I played the Division, and I didn't really want to do any more of that, so why would I do the space version of that?
Well, that's the same reason why I haven't played Destiny in a couple months, because I finally broke that crack addiction, so...
Hey, but you got your money's worth out of it.
Oh, yeah, I played 500 hours. If that's not money's worth out of a game, I don't know what is.
It's like with GTA 5 and how much of that multiplayer I played, like heist after heist with my friends and all this stuff, and I definitely got all my money's worth out of it, and I don't know, looking back, why I played it so much.
Yeah. Well, let's dive into the news. We got a lot of, really, there's not a ton of news. It's more Switch, Nintendo Switch and... Fire Emblem news than anything. But since Nathaniel wasn't here last week, I want to get what's your thoughts, Nathaniel, on the Switch, because I know at first you weren't going to pre-order it, and then you did, didn't you?
And then I canceled it like 2 days later.
Oh, mic drop.
Wow. Okay.
So what it is like, I think that the Switch is a really cool looking system. I also think it looks exactly like the Wii U in that there won't be enough to play for it right away. And I just bought a PS4, so I'm like, why would I spend more than that on this just to play Zelda? And I'm like looking at the amount of money, I'm like, I really want to play Zelda, but come on.
What I've read a lot of people did, they went out and they pre-ordered it, and then they pre-ordered Zelda, and then they realized, oh wait, Zelda's still coming out on the Wii U. And they canceled it, and then went and bought a Wii U for like $100 off Craigslist and bought the game. So.
Now, unfortunately, it looks like the Wii U version is going to look a whole lot muddier.
Yeah, that's what I've seen.
The Switch version. But it's still going to be a good game, I'm sure. Now, I don't have a Wii U either, so I'd have to go buy one of those, and I'm not going to do that either. Yeah. I'll just eventually get a Switch and play it then. It'll probably be something where it's like, all right, either when Mario's coming out later, I'll be like, okay, I'll get it for a couple games, or maybe if and when there's a first price drop, then I'll think about getting one. But I've got the PS4 that is new to me, so I've got plenty of new things to start throwing into that, and I've still got all of the Steam games that I need to get to that I got from the holiday sale that I haven't even started yet. So it's not like I'm starving for something to play. So I just looked at it and was like, yeah, that was totally kind of the event hype that was getting me there, and it's really not worth putting that much money into it. I think I'm going to cancel this pre-order.
Well, and that's the good thing with putting it on, Amazon. It didn't cost you any money anyway, so you didn't lose anything. You didn't have to go to a GameStop and cancel, or Best Buy and get a refund and all this.
Yeah, because GameStop required $50 down, right?
Yeah, they did $50 down. I paid for it. I mean, I just paid for it in full. So I mean, yeah. I'm still going to get it. I'm still excited. The more and more I see Zelda,
I think the system looks really cool. There needs to be reasons to have it to play it, because you can have a cool system, but if there's nothing to play on it, then it's not worth much.
I was really excited at first, but now I'm kind of thinking about just waiting until Mario comes out and hoping that there's a bundle.
Yeah. From all the stuff they showed, I want to play Zelda. I want to play the Snipper Clip game.
Yep, I do too.
And because it just looks charming as all get out. And I want to play maybe Mario, I'm sure. But other than that, there's nothing that they've really shown that I know that I absolutely want to play. Even all the stuff that we don't know dates for yet. So it's just kind of like,
I actually pre-ordered that and Zelda, and I pre-ordered that Has Been Heroes game. Did you see him playing that during the live stream?
I did see that one. That one looked all right.
Yeah,
it's also a Game Trust game.
Yeah, and it's only $20. It's a cheap game. So it was like, for $20, it's pretty cool. And then the wife likes the Switch, or what was it called? The cutout game.
1-2 Switch?
No.
Clips.
Snipper Clips. Yeah, and you just said it, and then I forgot it. I don't know.
Yeah, because it's this goofy name that you could come up with so many different close variations and get almost there.
Yeah, Clipper Snips or whatever. But yeah, it looks fun, and she's kind of cool with it. What she likes about it is the controllers are small, so she can hold them in her hand. She does not like the Xbox or the PlayStation 4 controllers are too big. She can't.
That's the thing about the Switch that I'm just like, no, they're too small.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll find out. I have pretty large hands.
Cramp up looking at it like there's no way I will ever play it in just the tiny little controller mode because my hand would die.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
As a controller or on the sides of it, I think it's fine. But just playing as just the little Joy-Con thingies by itself, I can tell. Especially the one where the stick is in the middle. Be like, my hands would just cramp up. It's so tiny.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll find out. I'll have it day one. So we'll see what's what on it. So.
I just hope that there's enough support for it because it looks like a cool little system.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be. It's like I've told everybody that said, "Oh, there's not very many games coming out." Hey, the N64 had 2 games at launch. 2. Pilot Wings and Mario. That was it.
Well,
there was no other games. And I mean, it worked out all right for the N64. So
yeah, it'll work out all right, but it's coming off of the not so stellar Wii U, where it has some stuff, but just market-wise, it hasn't done so well. So people are a little more iffy on this. We're like, well, maybe
I could see it. I could see it doing about as well as like the GameCube did.
Now all they need to do is show a good-looking Metroid Prime style game, and they'll be like, all right, what?
Well, and that
must get.
That ties into my news story there. Every time somebody mentions Mario or a Metroid game, when are they going to make a Metroid game? Nintendo goes, oh, someday. Here's 5 new Fire Emblem games in development. Look over here.
Or here's this thing that we slapped a Metroid name on that's not really a Metroid game. Have fun.
Hey, I sold Federation Force to a customer for the first time since it came out the other day.
really?
Yeah.
Jeez, wow. What was it? Is
I
it
felt
like $10 now, or is it still
no,
30?
it was still full price. I felt really guilty about it, but who am I to tell them no?
Yeah, really. I mean, I would, I'd buy it if it was $10, but I'm not paying $40 for it. There ain't no way. That's crazy. Well, anyway, we'll start the news here real quick. Like I said, there's not a bunch. A lot of people were upset that the Nintendo Switch didn't look like it was going to have Mii's, but Nintendo has come out and said it will have Mii's, but they're just not mandatory. Pretty much the Mii character will be used to represent your user profile.
Where's my Street Pass?
Yeah, there's no Street Pass, nothing like that. But
They're replacing it with Couch Pass.
yeah, because it's not a. That's the thing is people have a hard time grasping that. Yes, this is a portable system, but it's a home console first. Nintendo said it's a home console first. So Street Pass would be cool, but some people may never.
They would do
use
Street Pass, but the battery will die on you, right?
True, exactly. I mean, you only got 2 hours here. It's not like. Yeah, but
I'm sure if it's on standby sleep mode, that's just Street Passing, it would last longer than that.
I'm sure. The one thing that it was weird in this article, it said Mii characters will be used to represent your user profile, but are not required, said the Nintendo spokesman. Users also have the option to choose a profile picture included from the library of character images, blah, blah, blah. Nintendo also confirmed that what was the Mii Maker app is now part of the console's system settings, and that the Wii U and the 3DS Mii's can be transferred to a new console via an amiibo figure. Is it a particular amiibo figure, or is it any particular
do I have
figure?
to have the Mii amiibo?
Yeah. I'm like, why do I have to have an amiibo figure to transfer it over? I mean, I have plenty of them.
3 minutes to make my Mii before.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, why couldn't you put it on like an SD card or something?
Yeah, I mean, that seems really weird. It's not like I don't have any amiibos sitting around. I've been buying them. Walmart's been putting the stupid things online for $3, and I've been buying them and putting them in store pickup. Some of the ones that I would not pay $12 or $13 for. But it's so weird. It's like, why would you have to have a Mii? And is it any Mii, or is it the Mii amiibos? It's just so weird. I don't know. That just seemed really strange to me. So
I'll just do what I always do and take a picture of my face with the device and then have it create my Mii.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what we've all done. So no big deal. Nintendo said the Switch will not have Netflix or any other apps at launch. But
the
Wii U did.
Yeah, the Wii U did.
That have it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. It doesn't have Netflix. I've got an Amazon. I've got 2 Amazon Fire TVs, an Amazon Stick, a PlayStation 4, a PlayStation 3, a 360, an Xbox One, a PC.
Yeah, but it could
Apple
if you're sitting in it on your couch or something in portable mode to have a screen to watch on it, and it's not that you would need it, but it's a good feature to have in there. I think this is probably a symptom of their online system just isn't ready yet.
I would think so. I can't.
You'll probably get to watch it through your smartphone in the Switch app.
Probably.
Oh wait, you mean that thing that you could totally watch Netflix on your smartphone?
Yeah,
on
you can
the
watch it on
Netflix
that.
app.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many things that already have Netflix. To me, it's no big deal. I have it on Wii U. I never use Netflix.
But I don't know.
on
It's
Wii U.
nice to have it there. So say like I've got my PlayStation 4 and my PC are hooked up to this in the same spot. So if I'm on my PS4, I like that I can just jump onto Netflix without having to switch over to the PC, change the on the monitor or whatever, or just boot it if I don't even have it on. So if you have your Nintendo set up that way, where yes, you might have another device hooked up to your TV, but if you don't have to switch to it, then that makes it easier. So.
Right. And it's probably something that'll come down the line. It's just not going to be available at launch. I mean, I'm sure it'll probably be there eventually. I can't imagine.
Gotta get that YouTube app on there so you can watch your cat video.
Well, yeah, really. And they're going to have, and that's the other thing, they're going to be able to eventually upload screenshots and video clips. So, I mean, they have something. I want them to immediately watch it on YouTube, something that I just did. I want to be able to pull it up on my YouTube app on my system, because that's the way it is.
It'll probably, you can save video, but you can't upload it to anywhere but some weird random Nintendo thing.
Probably.
Just wait.
Yeah, you're probably right. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is the last Wii U game that will be published by Nintendo. I'm not surprised by this at all.
That would be weird if they did another one after that.
Yeah, that would be really, really strange. I'm sure there'll be some other games come out from other publishers, but Nintendo is going to focus on the Switch rather than the Wii U, obviously, or Zelda would already be out for the Wii U now. Yeah. If they were going to do that, they would, I don't know. That seemed really weird, and everybody was very shocked by it. And I'm like, I'm not shocked at all by this.
One thing I'm sort of shocked is that there's no pack-in game for the Switch.
Yeah, that was surprising. The 1, 2, 3 Switch game I figured was the pack-in game, but
nope, it's
that
$50.
one. I'm thinking maybe they realized, nobody's gonna want this packed in. So hopefully we'll sell 2 or 3 over here. I don't know, because it's like you're not even. It's a sound game. It's not a video game.
Well, yeah, I would play it.
So it's just this weird thing anyway.
I mean,
Yeah, if it was packed in, that'd be the only way I would even mess with it and probably try it once and be like, all right.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's over. Yeah.
Reggie said that was to keep the price down. But that's a standard answer for something like that. I mean,
well, yeah, but everything nowadays seems like it has a pack-in, and you have options with the other consoles, and Nintendo's had pack-ins before, so
now
you
could have. Now you have the options with the pack-ins with the others, but when they first launched too, they didn't have games with them either.
Very true.
Yeah.
Well, the difference is you're paying the same price now for a PS4, Xbox One, or a Switch.
Right.
They needed to do this to be competitive.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like the Switch is already something different than the other two, but you can't be different if you don't have anything to play on it. So you have to add in more price for whatever game you're going to buy.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know. It'd be interesting.
It'll be all right. It's going to sell out fine with its first run because all of the people who are really super into Nintendo, who really, really want one and pre-order one, will get it. But I'll be interested to see after that first kind of run on the system how well it does.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it sold out quick in Japan. They sold through.
I'm sure it will do really decent this fall with Mario. Mario sells systems.
Yeah, Mario does sell systems. You're absolutely right.
Even weird ones that are in the real world. It's just like, wait, wow, real people next to weird Mario. What's going on? Your proportions are all different. It's freaking me out.
Speaking of Super Mario, if you're a Android user, Super Mario Run is coming March. You can go ahead and pre-sign up for it now. That way you'll be notified when it comes up. Won't do you much good because
go download it when it comes out.
Yeah, go download it when it comes up.
I'll be able to play it.
If it's anything like it was on the on Apple, by the time I got the message that said it was available for download, I had already downloaded it and played it 12 hours ago. So
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna have to get it on my tablet because it looks like it'd be a fun game to play on like a slightly bigger screen.
Yeah, I haven't downloaded it to my iPad yet. I don't know if it'll actually work on my iPad. I have an older iPad. I don't know. I don't know if there's a age
iPad
limit.
2 or 3?
I don't remember. I think this is a 3. I don't even remember now. I've had it for a while. It should run on a 3. But you know how funny sometimes Apple is about things. So it doesn't get updates anymore. There are no more system updates for my iPad. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's weird. There was a Fire Emblem Direct last week. Pretty much what it did was it let you know there's about 4 or 5 Fire Emblem games coming out between.
Hey, do you have a Nintendo system? There's a Fire Emblem game coming for it.
Yeah. There's 2 different ones on 3DS. There's the Fire Emblem on the Switch. There is Fire Emblem Warriors on the 3DS. I think it's on the Switch as well. I know it's at least on the new 3DS. Fire Emblem Heroes, Fire Emblem Zero. It's like I said.
Do they just have a plethora of studios who that all they can make is Fire Emblem games? Because it seems like a lot.
So. I mean, apparently so. And I didn't get to sit down and fully watch the entire thing, so I don't know what studios are making what. I know Fire Emblem Warriors is made by the guys that do the Dynasty Warriors games, so but the rest of them I'm not 100% sure who's doing what because I haven't had a chance to fully watch the presentation. But yeah, I was like, holy crap.
To me, I look at this and I think, you're doing this because they're easy games to make. I don't know. It seems weird that there's so many of them.
Well, they're very easy games to make, and they're very, very popular. I mean, in Japan, they are like.
That's probably
huge.
why in Japan, here, not so much. The people who know about Fire Emblem are like, hey, yeah, those couple characters in Smash Brothers I like are from that game, right?
Yeah. There's 2 amiibos that are coming out as well. I buy all the Fire Emblem games, and I play them on whatever. I don't know if I'm going to buy that many at one time. I know they all don't come out at one time. One comes out 2018. One comes out April or May 19th. The Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Vantalia, or however you say it, is May 19th. And then the Switch one will be out in 2018. They just set a release date of autumn for Warriors. February 2nd is the Fire Emblem Heroes. That's actually the mobile game, and it's actually coming out on Android first. It will not be out on iOS until later, which they haven't said when exactly. And then Fire Emblem Zero, which will be released in June. So this year, it's like those are all this year except for the Switch one, which will be out next year. That's a lot of Fire Emblem games.
That is a lot of Fire Emblem.
Yeah, that is.
That is a lot of strategy RPG right there.
Lots of options for people that are
absolutely
big fans of the series.
Yeah, I'm interested in the mobile app, and it's a free-to-play mobile app, so it's or pay-to-play, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, Fire Emblem seems like it would translate to that type of game pretty well.
There was a game that Sega made that was kind of Fire Emblem-ish, whatever you want to say. They don't.
Dreamcast?
No. It was on mobile. It was a mobile game. I can't remember what it's called now. I played the crap out of it. It's not. They don't support it anymore. It's gone. You can't even find it anymore. I have to look it up. They actually made it on the Vita in Japan, and I have it on a list on Amazon because you can actually buy it on Amazon for pretty cheap. I can't remember the name of it though, but man, I played that thing. Well, it also helped that I played that thing during sitting in the hospital waiting for nieces and nephews to be born. It was about that same time. That's all Switch stuff. Man, I got to clean out my want list on Amazon. I've got way too much storage.
Thousands of items. It's like,
well, and some of it I've bought. Chain Chronicles is what it was called. It was very much like Fire Emblem. It was really cool. It was really well done. I'm really sad that Sega stopped supporting it because it was really fun to play on iOS. This one's for Robert. PS4 YouTube app has been updated to do 360-degree video.
Ooh.
So you can use you can finally use that $500 PlayStation VR headset for something other than sit over on your table looking nice.
Hey, I hear that Resident Evil 7 is pretty good and pretty good in VR as well.
That's what they say. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
The demo was pretty good. I did get a little bit queasy with it, though.
Yeah.
They're saying, I saw someone that people are saying that they got queasy with the demo, but the control change that they did by default for the main game has helped it. It's like you turn in 30-degree implements or something by default. You can change it to how the demo controlled as well, apparently. But I've been reading some of the reviews and stuff today. And I'm like, oh man, I don't need a Resident Evil game to play too.
Yeah, I was kind of interested. I saw some good trading bonuses and things like that. And I was like, I'll just hold off. I got too much stuff to play.
Yeah,
not really much of a Resident Evil guy.
I'm not anymore. Veronica was the last one that I really liked. All the rest, 4 was okay, but all the rest.
But just imagine how scary the jump scares will be in VR.
I don't want to knock my headset off.
Yeah, you could totally throw your headset through a wall. It'd be great.
Yeah, really. So yeah, if you got the VR headset, you can check out those YouTube 360 videos. So those are really cool to do on your phone. So I can imagine in VR. There was a Star Trek one that came out the other day where you're on a ship and it launches you out and you go through all the different ships and you can turn your head and look. And it's like that's kind of cool. Yeah, it was really neat.
Or it'd be cool if you're just like someone standing in a crowd somewhere and you can look around everywhere. whatever it would be, or just anything would be cool in 360. Actually,
apparently Periscope does 360. I was sitting somewhere at the doctor's office waiting, and I was rolling through my Twitter feed, and somebody had a Periscope up, and it was a 360-degree Periscope because I just happened to move my phone while it was in my hand, and I went, "Whoa, wait a minute, that thing moved." And I didn't know, and I didn't pull the Periscope up. It was just in my feed, but it still was picking up my hand movement, and it was moving this way. And I was like, "Oh, that's weird. I didn't know Periscope had that."
It's gonna make me sound really old, but how do you do that on Facebook? Sometimes I see people posting those things, and I'm like, "What?"
I don't know. I don't have a clue. You're asking the wrong guy about anything Facebook, because I don't have a clue about Facebook. Not one clue. Apparently, EA is not going to have any kind of presentation or booth at E3. They are going to do the EA Play 2017.
This is what, their second or third year?
I think
second.
So. Second year, I think. Beginning June 10th. So, if you want to check out the latest Madden and FIFA,
just like it was last time.
I don't like watching their conference.
I don't either. They don't do it good. They don't have good people that do it. It's just not worth it for me to watch. I'll go back and catch a highlight reel of it.
Well, the problem is they don't even show anything the last 2 or 3 years, so it's not worth watching at all. So, yeah.
This year, if they do not show some Star Wars, some other than Battlefront, then
I want to see the one that Amy Hennig's working on.
Yeah, that's the one I want to see. Show me that one. Don't show me concept art and have all these guys sitting here talking about how great it is to work on a Star Wars game. I know how great it is. It's probably the most wonderful thing in the world. Now show me the darn game.
Fantastic experience. Now show me what I'm going to be playing.
Yeah.
It's just going to be like Amy being like, "Yeah, I wrote this really great story. I can't wait to share it with you guys."
When are you going to share it to me? Someday. What about Nathan Drake? Who? So yeah,
nothing. No, I know nothing about Nathan Drake in space. What?
Yeah, what? Huh? Who? What? So yeah,
it's gonna be a crossover.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Dude, am I dumb in saying that would be kind of awesome in a stupid way?
Yeah, it kind of would. You're kind of right. And
it would be completely terrible, but I would still play it.
Yeah, I probably would too when it comes right. Yeah. What's that?
And I put the last bit of news on the.
I figured you did.
On the list. So NBA Jam for Super Nintendo, 1994, got a roster update for 2017, which not only lets you play as like LeBron and Steph Curry, it also lets you play as Donald Trump
and Harambe.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the
important part.
And stuff. Hillary Clinton.
It's funny. Like, it's like, oh, that's kind of cool. So, obviously, you can't update it.
Now, how do you update it? Yeah.
Yeah, you have to have a ROM, and you have to have an emulator on your PC to do it, and then it'll...
They've done this before, and they have also done this for other sports games, too, but this is... this is pretty cool. They did this and they added even more stuff to it.
Pretty much the way it works is you get the ROM of the game, you get the patch file, and then you put the ROM in the folder with the patch file, you run it, and it'll just patch the game automatically. They do that a lot with games, Japanese games, to translate them and stuff like that.
Yep.
It's a pretty neat thing. I don't know. It seems I was watching a little bit of the video of it when people start putting it up. I'm like, I don't know. It's pretty much just the same characters with just the pic screens look a little different with the pictures digitized on there. But hey, whatever. It's cool that this old game.
That's the NBA Jam for the SNES.
Yeah, I mean it pretty much is. I'm like, well, it's cool. If you're an NBA connoisseur, NBA Jam connoisseur that kind of likes that kind of thing, would be neat. But
I'll probably check it out.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
I like NBA Jam.
Somebody will put it on a EverDrive list, and I'll end up throwing it on my Super NES and not even know it.
Yeah. Put it on your NES Mini.
Yeah, put it on my...
Hey, so we had a question on the stream yesterday when we were getting ready to do things, and then we had to cancel. Yeah. People were wanting to know if they think that the NES Classic will be back in stock anytime soon, and do you think stores will have more or less this time around? That's what I was thinking about.
It will definitely be back.
Do you think they're going to have more, or do you think we're still going to be seeing 3 to 5 consoles?
I think we're going to continue to see 3 to 5 consoles, but I don't think the demand is going to be what it was.
No, I kind of think the demand's come and gone. It was a Christmas thing that everybody kind of wanted then, and now it's kind of like it's gotten to the point where the scalpers have taken over, and it's like people have kind of forgot about it. Plus, honestly, it's not really that great. It's just.
Did you try Hacking Wars yet?
Nope. I haven't even taken. I played it that one weekend like I said, in the hotel, and then when I got the my arcade controller in for review, I hooked it up and played it then. And when I got my 8-bit do controller set in with the adapter, I played it then. Other than that, it's been sitting in the box on the top of the bookcase.
I still haven't opened mine.
I mean,
what?
The thing is that system is so poorly emulated. It's ridiculous. There's so much lag in that, and depending on what TV you play it on, your TV in your house, I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3 different TVs in this house, plus I had played it on the one at the hotel. The hotel had a little bit of lag. I brought it home and played it on my main TV. It had so much lag on it, it was unplayable. And all the rest of the TVs have enough lag that I could hit the button and Mario would jump after I let the button go. I mean, like, pushed it down and sat there for a second and go, 1, boom, Mario jump. I'm like, oh my gosh. And some of these wireless controllers have cut down on the lag, but it's still, there's been a lot of times with Punch-Out when I was playing it, I had to kind of guess when to dodge the punch so I could go ahead and hit the button and dodge ahead of time to try to... It's more of a nostalgia thing for people who A, don't collect retro games, and B, don't have a Wii U that you can buy those games on. I mean, or doesn't know how to do an emulator on a PC or something like that, or a Raspberry Pi or something like that.
Or your phone.
Or whatever. To me, still, Raspberry Pi is just the way to go. If you want a NES Classic, just go buy a Raspberry Pi and have every NES game on it, as well as Super NES and Genesis, and
for the same price.
For the same price or cheaper. I mean, I paid $40 for mine. So by the time you add a controller to it and a memory card, you're probably going to be around what an NES Classic will cost. And it's super easy to set up and do, and it just works so much better. But I don't know. I mean, the NES Classic is cool. I'm glad I bought one. It looks really nice to set up on my shelf with that classic style box and the logos and the colors, and it brings back that nostalgia of the original NES. But
yeah, I like to look at it on my shelf.
Yeah, as far as actually getting that thing out and playing it, no. I'd rather I wish I could get somebody to find a broken one that doesn't work and just give me that body so I could put my Raspberry Pi in it. Oh my gosh, that would be awesome.
I'll sell you mine for $60.
Nah, it ain't worth that. I'll get somebody there. I can get somebody to 3D print me one for pretty cheap, but
yeah,
it would be nice to have an original one from Nintendo. Somebody out there's got to have a broken one that they tried to hack it and screwed it up.
I thought you would have want to put it in a cart. That's what I see a lot of people doing, cramming it in an old.
Well, if you get cart. One of those small, if I got one of those Raspberry Pi Zeros, then yeah, I could put it in a cartridge. But I actually got a Raspberry Pi 3 is what I got. I actually got one of the bigger ones, so I could run PlayStation 1 and some arcade games and stuff like that on it. So I could do a little more, because I actually want to use it as a computer too. So I wanted one a little more beefy than just the Zero that only runs certain things. So, but yeah, that's all I got. Anything else? Thank you for the questions. We really like the questions. It's very cool to have live questions come in and feedback instantly. It beats emails and questions on Twitter and things like that, because you can be right here. But yeah, I mean, if you're listening to this recording and you're where are you guys at? We're on Twitch. I'm working on getting a program that will simulcast this podcast or anything else that I stream onto Twitch. It'll go to Twitch, YouTube, Beam. It'll stream it to all of them at one time. So wherever you could catch, if you'd rather see it on YouTube, it'll be live on YouTube. It'll be live on Twitch, all at the same time. I just have to make sure my computer can handle it.
What's that smoke?
Yeah, right now with what I've got open, I've got Total Recorder open, I've got the chat open, I've got the X split open, I've got 2 tabs open, and I've got Skype open, and I'm running at about 60-70% processor speed. So I'm still pretty good. My feet are warm, so and that's a good thing.
Well,
it's cold
your
down
feet can
here,
be
so.
really warm.
Yeah, I know. I can push it a little harder and get it a little bit warmer if I wanted it to.
I'm sure a lot of that is also bandwidth versus your computer power as much too.
It is
because you're splitting it up so many different ways.
Yeah, and I've got pretty strong internet for that, so I don't know. We'll see. I've got some different ideas going on. We're talking about doing some different things, getting webcams so we can actually see us instead of just our little pictures flashing and stuff like that.
See our ugly mugs.
Yeah, but it's
We're
also,
gonna have to get some better lighting.
yeah, I know. That's the only thing.
No,
that
we
worries
can just
me.
do it all dark and moody.
Yeah.
Where you can't see the faces, like we're trying to be anonymous. There you go.
Incognito.
Yeah.
Incognito.
Like we were on the news talking about
Yeah.
what we saw down at the. You know,
Ooh, then we can get voice modulators too.
yeah, be the way to go.
Let's go all out.
Yeah, why not? I mean,
And then we'll get
Disguise it.
sponsored by Watch Dogs 2. It'll be great.
yeah, that's a game I still haven't booted up yet. I have Watch
Me
Dogs 2 on
either. I got it
PlayStation
for
4.
free and never installed it.
I haven't. I've got it installed on my PlayStation 4. In fact, some of the DLC it keeps saying, "Hey, we're waiting to install this. You actually have to boot this game to install it." And I'm like, "I'll boot it sometime." It's just sitting there, just waiting. It's been waiting for weeks, but I really need to play that. Maybe I'll play it before the next time we record, so I'll have something different to talk about other than Yakuza. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for the show, guys. I appreciate you all stopping in and hanging out in the chat room. It has been really, really cool. Tell your friends. We always like to we try to get as many people in here as we can. Would be really, really nice to get a bunch of people in here and get a whole ton of conversations going. But this is only the second time we've done it, so baby steps.